Breakfast is supposed to be the most important meal of the day. But what if some of the foods we trust the most are actually doing more harm than good? Before work, before school, before the world even wakes up, millions of people reach for the exact same breakfast products every morning. Quick, familiar, comfortable. But behind that comfort lies a truth most companies don't want you to know. Today, we're exposing 13 breakfast foods that appear harmless, even healthy, yet hide dangers that have been linked to diabetes spikes, inflammation, heart issues, chemical exposure, and long-term damage that builds quietly over years. These aren't exotic foods or strange ingredients. They're the classics, the foods you grew up with, the foods that feel safe. But once you see what's behind them, breakfast will never look the same again. Sugary breakfast cereals. They look like cartoons but act like candy. Sugary cereals are one of the biggest breakfast deceptions in America. For decades, companies used mascots, bright colors, and nostalgic marketing to make them feel harmless, even wholesome. But behind the fun packaging lies a troubling truth. Many breakfast cereals contain as much sugar as a donut, yet people eat them believing they're starting the day healthy. The grains are processed so aggressively that the body digests them almost instantly, causing a blood sugar surge followed by a sharp crash. That crash affects mood, focus, appetite, and energy levels for the rest of the morning. And it doesn't stop there. Most cereals include artificial dyes linked to hyperactivity, preservatives that extend shelf life at the expense of nutrition, refined grains stripped of fiber and minerals, flavor enhancers to keep you craving more. The whole grain labels? Often marketing tricks. The real story: this is dessert disguised as breakfast, and millions fall for it daily. Packaged breakfast pastries, Pop-Tarts, toaster strudels. They melt in a toaster and inside your arteries. Pop-Tarts and toaster pastries may seem like the perfect fast morning solution. Tear open the wrapper, toast for 60 seconds, done. But their convenience hides a deeply processed ingredient list that reads like a chemistry experiment. Inside that flaky crust are hydrogenated oils that promote inflammation, artificial dyes banned in several countries, cheap refined flour that spikes blood sugar, corn syrup blends engineered for addictive sweetness. Many flavors contain 3 different types of sugar. Some versions even use industrial stabilizers so they won't break apart during shipping. The real issue? Your body treats these pastries almost exactly like pure sugar. A pastry at 7 a.m. might feel harmless, but the metabolic consequences, a heavy crash, cravings, sluggishness, ripple through the entire day. And the worst part? They're marketed to children. Processed breakfast meats, bacon, sausage, ham. Delicious, but hiding a chemical cocktail. Processed meats are one of the most beloved and most dangerous breakfast staples in America. Bacon and sausage taste incredible because they're engineered to. Smoke flavoring, additives, nitrites, fillers, and fats all combine into a product designed to hit the brain's reward centers hard. The problem lies in nitrites, which create nitrosamines when cooked, compounds strongly linked to cancer. Research consistently warns that regular consumption of processed meats increases colorectal cancer risk, yet they remain a breakfast favorite. Beyond nitrosamines, many processed meats include phosphates for texture, preservatives to prevent spoilage, high sodium that strains the heart, fat blends from low-quality sources. They offer flavor, comfort, nostalgia, but inside the body, they ignite inflammation and stress. That crispy strip of bacon may smell heavenly, but the hidden health cost is far from appetizing. Store-bought orange juice. It's not fruit, it's engineered sugar water. Orange juice is often marketed as the fresh, vitamin-packed start to a perfect morning. But what's inside that carton has shockingly little in common with real oranges. Commercial juice is heated during pasteurization, stripping away natural flavors and nutrients. It's then stored in massive tanks for up to 12 months, during which all flavor disappears. So companies add flavor packs, engineered orange-like scents made from chemical compounds derived from orange peels. What you drink is closer to a soft drink than a fruit. The biggest issue? Sugar, enormous amounts of it. Even 100% no added sugar, juice contains more sugar per serving than soda and lacks the fiber that slows absorption. Without fiber, the sugar rush slams the bloodstream instantly, stressing the pancreas and causing an insulin spike that triggers energy crashes, morning hunger, metabolic strain, mood swings. It tastes refreshing, but the body reacts as if you drank liquid candy. Frozen waffles and pancakes. Convenient, but nutritionally empty. Frozen waffles and pancakes are built for speed, not nutrition. To survive months in the freezer, they're made with bleached flour, stabilizers, preservatives, added sugars, anti-caking agents. The result is a product that's easy, comforting, warm, yet largely devoid of real nutrients. Digestion happens rapidly, causing a quick spike in blood sugar followed by a predictable crash. And most people make it worse by adding syrup, butter, whipped cream, or chocolate chips, turning an already weak breakfast into a metabolic disaster. They feel cozy and nostalgic, but your body pays the price. White bread toast, a simple slice that behaves like pure sugar. White bread is one of the most deceptively simple breakfast foods. It's soft, it's quick, it feels innocent. But white bread is essentially processed starch with all the nutrients removed. Manufacturers often bleach the flour and then fortify the bread afterward with synthetic vitamins to make it appear healthy. Your body digests it almost instantly, converting it to glucose in moments. The spikes cause hunger long before lunch and increase cravings for sugary foods. Despite its innocent appearance, white toast sets your metabolism on a roller coaster, one that doesn't end well. Flavored instant oatmeal, the healthy food that stops being healthy. Oatmeal is great when it's real oatmeal. Instant oatmeal packets, however, are highly processed. The oats are pre-cooked, dried, and heavily refined to the point where most natural fiber is lost. Then companies add artificial flavors, brown sugar syrups, caramel colorings, preservatives to extend shelf life. Some packets contain as much sugar as a candy bar. What should be a slow, fiber-rich breakfast becomes a fast-burning carb that spikes your blood sugar and leaves you hungry again within an hour. It's a health food until the food industry modifies it into something else entirely. Flavor coffee drinks. When your morning coffee becomes a milkshake, that caramel latte or bottled frappuccino might feel like an energy boost, but nutritionally, it's a dessert with caffeine. These drinks often contain heavy creamers, artificial thickeners, stabilizers, flavored syrups, up to 70 grams of sugar. The caffeine masks fatigue temporarily, but the sugar crash hits hard. The brain gets confused, alert from caffeine, exhausted from insulin. This creates a cycle of morning jitters followed by mid-morning burnout that's difficult to escape. Coffee is healthy. These drinks are not. Fast food egg sandwiches. It's not the egg, it's everything around it. Fast food egg sandwiches seem simple. Egg, cheese, meat, bread. But almost every part of that sandwich is highly processed. Fast food eggs often include anti-foaming agents, preservatives, texture stabilizers, powdered egg blends. The cheese is usually cheese product instead of real cheese. The meats contain nitrites and fillers. The bun is sweetened and enriched with additives to stay soft for weeks. By the time it reaches you, the final product is far from what breakfast was meant to be. Real food. Sweetened yogurt cups. Sold as healthy, but sweeter than ice cream. What looks like a healthy breakfast is often dessert in disguise. Flavored yogurts contain layers of syrupy fruit mixtures, sweetened crumbles, and artificial flavors designed to mimic real fruit. Many contain more sugar than a can of soda, GMO thickeners, low-quality flavor concentrates, synthetic colors. Even Greek yogurt variations can be loaded with sugar. Yogurt can be incredibly healthy, but not the artificially flavored versions lining supermarket shelves. Bagels. A breakfast icon that's basically a loaf of sugar. Bagels feel hearty and filling, but nutritionally, they're a landslide of refined carbohydrates. A single bagel typically equals 4 to 6 slices of bread. Without fiber or protein, it's metabolized rapidly, creating a huge insulin surge. To make matters worse, many bagels contain added sugars, conditioners, and preservatives to maintain their signature chewiness. The result? A breakfast that tastes amazing but hits your bloodstream like pure starch, leaving you hungry again shortly after. Flavored smoothies, bottled or fast food. A healthy drink hiding a sugar avalanche. Smoothies seem like the perfect breakfast: fruit, vitamins, hydration. But most commercial smoothies use fruit concentrates, sorbets, frozen juice bases, flavor syrups, added sugar. Large smoothies at fast food chains can exceed 120 grams of sugar, which is more than 3 candy bars combined. The worst part? The marketing presents these drinks as health boosters, when in reality, they're liquid sugar with minimal nutritional benefit. Energy drinks for breakfast. A morning shortcut with a hidden price. Using an energy drink as breakfast is one of the harshest things you can do to your body early in the morning. On an empty stomach, high doses of caffeine and synthetic stimulants hit the bloodstream fast, causing heart strain, cortisol spikes, dehydration, jittery energy, sharp crashes. Many energy drinks also contain artificial sweeteners, chemicals, and acid levels strong enough to harm tooth enamel. They create the illusion of productivity until the inevitable crash destroys focus, mood, and motivation. These 13 foods aren't rare. They're everywhere: bright packaging, friendly labels, comforting memories. But comfort doesn't always mean safety. Companies learned long ago that breakfast is the easiest meal to manipulate because people are tired, rushed, and trusting. And when you're half asleep, it's easy to grab whatever looks good. But once you understand what's really inside these foods, breakfast becomes more than a routine. It becomes a choice that shapes your entire day. Some of these foods won't harm you instantly. Some won't harm you noticeably. But their effects build quietly, subtly, over months and years. And that's what makes them dangerous. Not because they're dramatic, but because they're familiar. So as this list ends, one question remains. What will your next breakfast look like?